Let's switch to another stakeholder, the customer, right? Why shouldn't we lower the cost of everything? I mean, I see prices going up. Every time I go out to eat, it's getting more expensive. Maybe we should mandate that the price has to go down so I can get a filet mignon for $4.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be a good idea?
Yeah.
Or free. Wouldn't free be better?
Free would be great, yeah. And then you'd spend your entire day driving around trying to find that $4 steak or that free steak. It would not be available, right? There's the demand side, and the demand side wants lower prices, but then there's also the supply side. And we've seen what that looks like, right? You have to have supply and demand coming together, otherwise.
And that's what a free market sets,
Yeah.
is that point. How about underserved communities? We've got a couple of books here, The Financial Crisis Inquiry Report and Hidden in Plain Sight by Peter Wallace. And you know, in 2008, they were reacting, the banks, the big banks were reacting to some laws that had been put in place that mandated that, you know, everybody ought to be able to own a home. And so the Community Reinvestment Act and other laws said, hey, that is our social good. That's what we need to strive for, like rebounding. It's absolutely essential. But when you mandate it and you force a company to follow that as their primary objective, doesn't that create some financial problems?
Oh, absolutely. Again, you want the free market, and the free market's not perfect, and there's systemic issues that need to be addressed. As you know, my family is a multiracial family, and there's issues out there. There have been historically, but the solution is to continue to work diligently to make that a level playing field. But if you put in place these non-economic forces, that can be problematic. You know, we talk a lot about in finance. You know, would it be nice to have a 0% unemployment rate? Sure, it would, but that just doesn't make sense. If you know, so there's this idea of a natural unemployment rate of maybe 3 or 4 or 5%. Likewise, would it be wonderful if everybody owned a home? Most certainly it would, but there's sort of a natural maximum home ownership rate, you know, because not everyone wants to own a home, and people are moving, and renting actually might make more sense. So to push it, and we saw that with the housing crisis, is that we probably stretched it too far, and we had too much home ownership in our country because of all these mandates and maybe uneconomic incentives.
Oh yeah, and including interest, mortgage interest deduction, and everything else. Yeah, here's another one that's coming up. NASDAQ has proposed that they're going to require that every board have a certain gender and racial diversity on the board. You know, and you know, as you know, my background, I am a citizen of the Cherokee Nation, so I qualify. I don't know why that makes me more qualified to be a board member, that I've got that. Is there a point at which this becomes ludicrous, that you mandate that you have a board that looks a certain way?
Yeah. In the world of finance, we talk about diversity a lot. We call it diversification. And it really is sort of the secret sauce of investing. When you have diversification, you have different investments. You have stocks and bonds and commodities, and you put these together, and it's almost an alchemy that you can have a better portfolio outcome.
Right.
Better returns, lower risk by bringing together these disparate investments. The same applies not only in financial capital, but also in human capital by bringing them together. It's powerful.
Right.
It's wonderful. I'm a huge proponent of it. I just have problems with the mandate of it doing it. Right? You know, you're in a hotel lobby and a football team walks in. You immediately can look at them and say, look, you know, that guy's probably a lineman. That guy's maybe a receiver. Oh, that guy over there, he's definitely the kicker, right?
Right.
You know, they're not all going to look the same, and that's the power of bringing that together. And that football team is going to play much better and win more games against a team full of all linemen, or God forbid, all kickers, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
But what if the requirement was to play here, all linemen on your team have to be 5 foot 1 inches tall and weigh 130 pounds, because we want diversity of weight in our play. I mean, there comes a point at which the mandate versus the market should determine it. So maybe the better approach is to educate people that having a broadly diverse viewpoints makes for a better board, and the investor says, that's got a diverse board, I want to invest there, rather than NASDAQ saying you can't be listed.